everybody. Hi, Internet. Welcome to Adventure is Nigh. This is officially episode 1 of our little adventure we call the Jade Homunculus. And by we, I mean me. Ha ha ha. My name is Jack Packard. I am your dungeon master for this. And playing with us today is Casey Wosu.
As Sigmar Iceblood.
Yahtzee Croshaw.
As Mortimer Rafflesworth Everwin Smythe.
Amy Campbell.
I'm Deborella Yeatster.
Oh, Jeebus Crisp. And Jesse Galena.
As Grinderbean.
Wonderful. When we last left our adventuring party, you had made your way through a tiny little cavern that housed a source of power, a magical item, one of many that are strewn throughout the land. You made your way through some traps, some puzzles, and fought yourselves some kobolds in order to gain the Scroll of Necromancy, which you then immediately used on royalty, on a small army, and unfortunately on everyone's favorite character, Jeremy Goodsex.
Favorite is a strong word.
He was the unsung hero, really.
Really, everybody loved that character, and I wish you would respect that.
Well, yeah, he was easy to love from a distance, wasn't he? But imagine if you'd had to camp with the guy.
Well, apparently he was easy to love then too, Yahtzee.
Wing. You've made a deal with Dave Thomas, the Kobold Trapsmith, to let him run free if he agreed to give you the Scroll of Necromancy. You are now outside of the little dungeon with corpses all strewn around you. So I just assume that Dave Thomas is going to walk away. You are going to allow him to walk away at this point?
I mean, I would like Dave Thomas's contact information. As a trapsmith, that sounds like someone I want to know.
Yeah, he did promise to help you with your t-shirt cannon.
Sure. Well, you know what we can say is you after you got out, after you murdered everyone when you summoned an army of the undead.
Yes. Let's not dwell on who and who did not summon armies of undead.
Just putting this out there, it might have been one person specifically that murdered a bunch of people.
I do not accept any blame. Mortimer accepts no blame. I seem to recall it was a group decision.
Oh yeah, Sigmar fully stands by the decision to use that scroll on these people.
But that January lady was never going to let us leave alive anyway. Really, this was all her fault. Yeah, it was all her fault for backing us against the wall, really.
Interesting.
But if the police arrive and ask us about this, I'm totally going to throw you all under the bus. I hope you realize that. I'm going to say I felt under duress. I was intimidated by the giant cat.
They're not even going to be asking about this scenario. You're just going to be like, it was the giant cat. That's what happened. Whatever it was.
So what we will say here is that you guys are able to take a long rest here. You camp out for the night. During that time, Dave Thomas tells you where he's going to head after making sure he's heading in the opposite direction of you. So you know about where he's going. So yes, you camp out the night. All of you get all of your health points back. All of you get any spell slot that you used back. Any sort of things that require long rest, you get back. So like Dabarella, for example, your 2 fighter abilities to get health back and to take a double move. Now that you've taken a long rest, you get those back.
Heck yeah.
And I'm going to say the 4 of you, you just got done with this, remarkable little, tiny little adventure. So I assume that you will all head in the same direction. If there's any way you want to talk to each other to see if you're heading in the same direction, that might be nice.
Well, I just go where the wind takes me, and there's 3 convenient scapegoats around here if anyone asks about the undead horde thing.
Because, yeah, we did kind of just meet on that cart, right? Like we didn't know each other before then, and so this was like a team bonding exercise, really.
Yeah, I was basically just going to the next point of civilization to be on the lookout for my next con or my next heist. So wherever you guys are going is fine.
Grindelbrand doesn't want to travel alone. It's dangerous out there, so very on board with all of us heading in the same direction.
Deborah was just
Sigmar
pretty
approves.
keen that people like her enough to want to stick around her, so she's just stoked to be here.
Yeah, she chucks statues. That's useful.
Right. So it's only
Yeats,
Sigmar who might have
yeats.
any kind of agenda he's trying to pursue.
Well, I agree. Like, we should go to the nearest city just because, like, I still don't know necessarily where I am, and I'd like to find that out. These guys have proven useful in this hunting party, so I don't have any objections hanging around them.
That's a good
And
plan.
he does
We
have
should-
at least some concern for the fact that Davarella was very injured before. But
Yeah.
she's fine now. But
Well, at the very least, we should figure out where the hell we are.
That is very important.
Good call.
Do you know what they say? If you're lost, follow a stream till you reach a river, follow a river till you reach a road, follow a road till you reach a town.
Wow. Wow.
That's just a bit of Bear Grylls advice I've heard. So I guess we just pick a direction and go, right?
Can we take those horses? Like the cart that we showed up in is still sitting there.
Or did
It's-
the
so
undead
there's three
army
horses?
take them out too?
The cart is still sitting there. I will say that that's just because that those horses are part of the base map layer and not active. I will 100% assume that the horde of flesh-eating zombies also ate the horses.
Right.
Small
About that
question.
horde, what are they up to right now?
Yeah, small point. What
We
happened to
hooked
them?
them up to the cart.
This is the next day. This is the next morning. So
Oh.
the horde has dispersed in several directions. They kind of your scroll of necromancy does wear off after a while, and so they killed everyone and then they moved in an outwardly direction. So they did not attack you, but they have now all dispersed in several directions. There's
So they
a few
didn't-
dead laying around.
Is there a maybe a bit of fine print on that scroll on like how long these summoned zombies will remain? Just curious.
The scroll evaporated after Mortimer used it.
Again, not accepting any blame.
Okay,
Well, can we just know this like as like a Arcana check or whatever? Do we know how long they'll last, or if they will still not attack or obey us if we run into them again?
Ooh, sure. Why don't you can anyone who wants to find that out, either an Arcana check or like an intelligence check, that sort of thing. And,
I heard intelligence check, and I think Deborah should give it a go.
I'll do an Arcana roll.
Oh,
Shoot.
woof. Well,
5.
unfortunately, Grindelbrand apparently not super familiar with those summon undead spells.
Neither is Mortimer with a big 8.
I knew I should have
14 on intelligence.
studied
Aha.
necromancy more.
Oh,
But
somehow
dang,
Dabarella knows this.
Right?
Dabarella, what I'm going to say is you have, in an effort to raise your cooking level, you like to really dig into cookbooks, though you don't always know that they're cookbooks. So you have actually accidentally read some books on summoning undead horrors.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
When you were looking for cookie recipes. So Dabarella, you would know that after a certain number of hours, like 1 or 2 hours, the hordes still exist, but they will no longer fall under the command of those
Okay.
who summon
Right.
it. So they are still out there, but they will not listen to you anymore. That's what
Okay.
Dabarella knows. No one, Sigmar, you have like a half idea that that's true. But
Like
you're
I
not
heard it from
okay.
someone.
yeah, you're not 100%, but Dabarella definitely knows that.
Do we have any kind of notion as to which direction most of the horde went in, or did they just go in all directions?
They just kind of went in all directions.
Okay, well-
ghosts and skeletons and zombies all around.
Well, we need to make a move, and as I say, we should just pick a direction at this point. Let's just go west. All in favor of west?
Yep.
Yep.
Why not?
Let's march west.
West it is.
Woo! Oh, I ran way off the map.
Oh my gosh. He's out of here.
I'm sorry, did Sigmar just Looney Tunes out of there? Like
he moved way quicker than I
Goodbye.
Wow. Great. You all head west and you find kind of that gravel road that the cart was on, and you just decide to follow that road it will logically lead you to a city, and eventually you find a deeply wooded area, tall trees, no sign of civilization anywhere near you, no shops, no towns, but this road is definitely heading somewhere. And in a small break in the trees, what you find is a small keep, a small castle with a giant wooden gate that is closed all around you. You see the after effects of a very large battle, a large and fresh battle. Bodies everywhere, soldiers and skeletons and zombies are all laying around you dead, but on the gravel path directly in front of you, you see an armored soldier carrying a blunderbuss and someone that looks like a biker dude who happens to have a flower for a head, and they are in a heated argument, fighting back and forth. Fists are flying, shots are going off. They are in a tussle in front of you.
Any chance that these zombie and skeleton bodies on the ground might look suspiciously like the zombies and skeletons we maybe summoned?
I have a feeling that might well be the case, yes.
I without even rolling, yes.
Oh boy,
you definitely remember. What I will say is tourniquet fast level is one of the dead zombies here. That's how you know.
Right.
Dead
sure.
giveaway.
Okay. So what are we trying to do here? Just trying to figure out where we are still.
Yep. And so like you. Up above here, you see these two guys, which I am moving back and forth, are still alive and fighting furiously. You hear the knight, say, "Oh, you take your kind and you get out of here! How dare you attack my keep!" And the flower biker just says, "It's now time for the meat folk to learn a lesson." And like I said, big old fights.
Are they actually
They are
in range?
Yes, they are fisticuffing.
Is it like an awkward wrestle?
Yes. Yeah, they're
Okay.
wrestling, they're moving back and forth.
Okay.
So Dabarella thinks they're playing and goes, "Yay!" and bounds over and pounces on them because she thinks that they're playing.
Okay, you're gonna like if they are if they are together and they're in that classic wrestling move where they each have hands on each other's shoulders, right? So you're going to jump on them.
Yes.
Okay, give me a strength check. We're gonna all do an opposed strength check here.
All of us?
Oh no, I'm sorry. All those two and Dabarella are going to do all of us are going to do strength checks.
Just a normal strength roll?
Just a normal strength roll, yes. All right, Dabarella, you jump on them and get into this mix. That was great. So you get into this mix here. We'll put this guy here. We'll put this guy here. And you jump on them, and immediately the knight turns over to you and is able to kind of throw the flower man on top of you. And so now, you and the flower man are on the floor. You and the flower man are on the floor, and the knight takes out his blunderbuss here and points it at both of you and says, "Oh no, it's another one of you."
Okay, I think perhaps the rest of us should step in here.
Yeah.
All right.
Sigmar rushes so that he's in range of the knight, like he's visible to the knight, pulls out his bow and aims at him.
Whoa. Let's try to de-escalate here, okay?
Well, no, I mean, I'm not gonna shoot just yet, but I am gonna draw my bow so that he knows that there's another armed person in the area.
All right. Mortimer's going to be a little placatory. He's going to say, all right, break it up, everyone. Calm down. Let's try to sort all of this out, okay? Dabarella, thank you for your intervention in resolving this small argument. Allow us to introduce ourselves. We're a wandering group of undead horde investigators, and we're pursuing a rumor that an undead horde has been moving through this area, possibly connected to a local noble, January Farvel or something like that. Would you? I take it from the scene there may have been some undead presence here recently. Could you fill us in?
Lady January, is she okay? Is she okay?
Well, as I say, I'm just pursuing rumors at this point. We did find some evidence that she had been present in near us, an abandoned cart we found not far from here, but there was no one around when we found it.
Oh, I hope she's all right. She's the Viscountess of the land. I'm so happy to have another human folk around here to help all of the undead hordes, the animal kind, the flower folk. They've been trying to get into the keep. You're on my side, right?
Sigmar asks him, "Is this January's keep?"
This whole land is hers. You know, she's part of the hierarchy. But
Dabarella's a little miffed to be called an animal folk and kind of like nudges the flower guy off a little bit in her annoyance. Just want to make that known.
I'm right there with you as a mushroom person. I also feel this othering and I don't like it.
And
okay, Mortimer will say, well, perhaps we could compare some intelligence notes, because as I say, we've been following this investigation for a while, but what evidence do you have that flower folk were involved? That's contrary to some of the things we've found.
What are you talking about? All of them flower folk or your animal folk, they're oh, and he, hold on, I need to make a roll real quick here. And you, he looks over at Sigmar. I know you. You're a celestial kind, aren't you? Oh, I've had it up to here with you. All of these folk, they think they're so high and mighty. They sent it here. They sent it here to get at the treasure, didn't they? Didn't they all? And he kind of moves a little bit closer to you, Mortimer, to back up a little bit, and then you hear the flower man say, typical meat folk, always blaming others, am I right? And he moves towards you, Grinderbin.
Okay.
You're like, I don't think that's going to be helpful here. Can't just be pointing our appendages everywhere.
Our appendages. Ew.
You know, we don't all have fingers, so.
Okay.
Right, Sigmar doesn't
okay,
feel threatened by the knight so much anymore. So he's gonna move around and do an insight check on the door.
Hey, you get away from that door, says the knight.
Okay, I'm going to...
what, says Sigmar.
Can we... Look, I'm just going to pointedly stand next to Grinderbin and say to the knight, look, we're all sentient people here. We're all enemies of the undead. None of us want our throats torn out by mindless monsters. Why don't you put down the gun and we can all figure out where we are and where we've been?
You know, not to split hairs or anything here, but I have met quite a few nice undead, and I feel like it's very insensitive
You're
to bring
not
them up
helping.
Meow.
Mortimer, why don't you give me a persuasion check? Let's see if you can talk this knight down from any rash decisions pointedly aimed at Sigmar, who has walked right past him.
11.
Yeesh.
11. All right. Give me a second here. He gets incredibly freaked out, so freaked out that he lets the blunderbuss loose in Sigmar's direction, rolls very, very low, and so there is just some buckshot scattered all around you, Sigmar.
Okay,
and that
does the gun have like any recoil?
Yeah, I mean he's pushed back a little bit. What you would know about blunderbusses is they do they're kind of single shot, so he does need to reload. He doesn't have another bullet in the chamber.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Okay. So he's like disarmed for the moment.
For the moment, and if Mortimer, Grinderbin, and Dabrella want to give me a perception check.
Ooh. 14 plus 2.
Ooh, okay. So we got a 16 for Mortimer. We have a 15 for Dabarella.
Oh,
22.
And a big 22. So Mortimer and Dabarella, you notice right away that the flower biker pulls a little whistle from his pocket and gives it a toot. Grinderbin, with that perception check, you notice it is a dog whistle. It's a call whistle. He is called.
Oh no!
Quite possibly called for some reinforcements.
Oh boy.
Well,
Let's be on the right side of this when reinforcement shows up.
yeah, good plan.
I'd be like,
Sigmar, I want to do an
pounce.
insight check on the door.
Oh, that's right.
And see if I can hear what's going on, like inside or around, like the actual keep.
Okay, yeah. Give me an insight check on that door.
Insight normal.
Insight normal.
It's not good.
Ooh, a 5 plus 4 is a 9. What I will say is, even with a 9, you don't hear anything, and that's unusual for a keep like this, seeing the battle scene. With a 9, you don't see any obvious way to open this giant wooden door. I'll give you like the general lay of the land, like something you could notice even without a great inside check. The walls seem to be approximately, 20, 30 feet high. This appears to be kind of a single-story keep, and this giant wooden gate in front of you. It seems to have these two... What do you call those? These things. The things that curve on the side of a castle. Is there a name for that? Turrets, maybe?
Probably.
They do have a name.
The most
The round
castle-y
parts?
The roundy, castle-y parts. I think they're turrets. You notice these turrets, and then walls head out on the other sides of them. That's kind of what you generally notice. I'm not giving you anything extra because you rolled very low.
Okay, so the keep's possibly empty. Probably all the undead have killed everyone. The knight's the only one left. The flower's bringing support. So we should probably pacify the knight dude. Dabarella, just get that gun off him. That would be a nice start.
Okay.
Pounce.
Dabarella used pounce.
Dabarella used pounce. Let's have, if we are going to start doing that, why don't we get everyone into initiative order. Boom and boom. Oh my glorb. Both the knight and the flower rolled natural ones for initiative.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
I think story-wise...
17.
Nice. Story-wise, that makes a lot of sense. They're very tired. They've been fighting for a long time.
I would love to know how all the undead died first. Like, if it was just the knight and the flower guy, I feel like this could have gone a lot better. But this is fine.
This, you see a lot of dead people. So you not only see undead zombies, you see undead knights. You see undead regular people who were alive before they were double dead. Yes. Okay, well, and perfect. Actually, this works out perfectly. Dabarella, you do get to go first. And so what would you like to do here?
Oh, pounce!
You give me a strength check. You want to?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Oh, that wasn't me rolling.
No, that was me rolling.
Nice.
Ooh.
A big 18 for Dabarella. That handily beats the knight's strength check. So yes, what would you like to do to this knight? How would you like to cat handle him?
Cat handle? Well, first of all, she looks at him and says, "This called me something mean," and then she yells "yeet" and jumps on him.
Yes. So you jump on him. He drops his blunderbuss. He is now restrained under you.
Okay.
You basically are just holding him down, like you have your hand on his forehead, and he's stop it. Yeah,
Am I allowed to ask if I can headbutt him?
You can definitely headbutt him.
We're just pacifying at this point, all right? Let's try not to kill things.
Me, you cat. Go, you cat. You get off me.
Just keep him down until he calms down, I suppose.
All right. Well, that was Dabarella. So, Sigmar, you are at the door. What would you like to do?
Is the flowerman attempting to fight us as well, or is he more agreeable?
He looks like he is, as now you're in kind of like slow-mo combat time, he looks like he is getting ready to pull out a weapon.
All right. I want to attempt to disarm him.
Ooh, okay.
With an arrow. So I'm either aiming at like the sleeve of his jacket or the actual weapon that gets produced. So this needs to be a kind of a precision shot. I don't know how to get that done.
Yeah, well, go ahead, give me an attack roll with your bow and arrow, and let's see.
And remember, I got that.
This feels like
that
a bad
+1. Ugh, that's not great.
A 13 does hit the flower. Like that hits the flower.
That's +1, right?
That's well. You rolled a. Let's see here. You rolled a 6. So yeah, with a 6 plus all of your pluses gets you to 13, 14. Still enough to hit the flower, not enough to disarm the flower. But the flower does take damage, so if you want to roll your damage.
All right.
Don't forget,
Normal.
that's +1 damage too. So
Holy crap, that's 11 damage. This flower... you actually your arrow strikes like right at the base of the flower's petal head.
Aww.
I feel like we've done a really bad job of that de-escalating I was talking about.
Right?
And so the flower kind of like stumbles back a little bit. And,
I mean, he's not going to be able to use that gun, though.
Yeah. You're on their side. I knew it. I knew you were on their side. Says the flower, looking very, very hurt. So, Sigmar, if you want to move at all, or if you have any bonus actions that you want to utilize.
I want to say to him, if you calm down, I can heal you.
Oh.
Maybe Jesse could tell him that, fungus to flower. They might have some common ground there.
Sure. Sigmar, give me a persuasion check, and we'll say that if Grinderbin wants to use his bonus action, you can do it with advantage.
Persuasion.
Yeah, so in your character sheet.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
nat 20.
Guess who doesn't need advantage?
Sigmar Ice Blood.
All right, Sigmar and Grinderbin, how are so you Sigmar, you shot an arrow and it detached most of his neck. With a natural 20 charisma check, how are you turning this around?
I'm gonna pretend I meant to do that when I shot him in the neck. I'm not gonna let it know that I was aiming for anything else. But he basically walks up to him, kneels down to him as he's kind of holding his neck, and he says, "Listen, this can go a lot easier if you just cooperate with us. All we want are answers. So I'll heal you right now, and then we can talk."
He looks at you, and he's holding his stem, and he looks over to Grinderbin. for kind of like and like Grinderbin, as you are also a flora folk. You kind of can see the expressions in their petals, and so you know, like he's looking. They're looking to you to see, like, is this cool?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the thumbs up. Like, yeah, this guy's on our level. It's cool.
Okay, yeah, and so he says, okay, yeah, and he puts his knife. He was like pulling a knife out of his really cool biker vest. He puts his knife away, and he pulls out that whistle again, and you hear like a series of toots on the whistle. And he's like, okay, I called off my dogs. I called off my dogs. We're gonna be cool.
Dog? Dogs? Dogs?
I should get that bell out.
No, not that kind of dogs. They're my dogs.
Okay.
They're Rose Wilders. Rose dogs.
I get it.
Actually, can you call them back? I want to see these now.
Yeah, I can call them. We're gonna hold on. We're gonna end combat here as you have the knight on the floor under Dabarella, and this flower person pacified. Sigmar, actually, if you want to roll your healing, if you are going to heal,
cure wounds?
yeah.
All right, while he's doing that, I'm going to say, right, well, now that class has settled down. Ooh, nice.
Oh.
Healed for for 8 points. Nice.
Okay. So how's the knight doing? Is he still struggling, or has he calmed down?
He's riled up. He's like he's under Dabarella, but yeah, he's whoa, oh, you working
Okay,
again.
I'm going to shame him by saying to the flower man, thank you very much for calming down and talking to us like civilized sentient beings. Is everyone settled down now? And that will hopefully fully de-escalate the situation.
Let me. How do I want to handle this? Hold on. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for the knight. I'm gonna roll a childish roll here. How childish does the knight feel like being? Kind of like an intelligence, like a wisdom check. Basically, I rolled a wisdom check for the knight, but I'm just gonna call it like a how pouty does he want to be?
Right.
So yeah, he hears what you say, and he goes. I mean, he started it, but yeah, okay, all right.
Okay, now we want a full account of what happened here. And pretend like I'm doing it randomly. You point to the flower. What happened here?
As you point to the flower man, he goes, "Oh, hold on for a second," and he, hold on for a second. He blows on his little whistle again. I know there's a lot of voices, and in comes in his little.
The rose dog.
His little his Rose Wilder dog, and he's like, "Oh, who's a good puppy? Who's a good puppy?" And is kind of like ruffling the petals of his little rose dog there.
Is he friendly?
Oh yeah, he's and he like does a little like doot 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 on his whistle, and the rose dog sits, and you see his little rose head.
Definitely need to pet this dog.
Definitely need
Roll
to
for it.
to roast.
How hard do you pet this dog?
Why don't you give me a charisma roll? Let's see if the rose likes you.
Charisma? Sure.
Yeah.
I actually have handle animal.
Oh, okay. Then give me then give me an animal handling check with advantage. You can have it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Good. Because
All right.
I want to roll higher than that.
14's all right. 14's better. So the rose dog seems to, like not mind you petting it. Definitely not slobbering all over you or anything.
Well,
That's fair,
getting back to the enormous carpet of corpses we're surrounded by, if you're quite finished playing with the doggy woggy.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. We heard we've been casing this keep for a while now. We heard that they're holding the human power item here, and we saw a big zombie horde and thought this was our opportunity to bust in.
Okay. And now I'll turn to the knight. What happened here from your perspective?
Well, we're in charge of defending the keep, and a big zombie horde came, and we fought them.
Okay.
And then these flower people came, and they've started fighting us too.
Okay.
So did anybody make it to the treasure?
Not that I'm aware of. I've been outside fighting for all this time, though. We closed up the gates. Some might have gotten in. I'm not sure.
Seems like we should check that next.
Yes, I fully agree. We should check inside the keep to see if there's any survivors, and on the side of things, see if there's any treasure that needs our help.
Any treasure that needs your help?
Yes, it might need our help getting out of somewhere it currently is. But we don't say any of this to the knight. We're just like whispering between ourselves.
Oh, okay, sure.
I think that we should investigate inside the keep. But I'm going to try to deceive the knight into thinking we're going into the keep to help the survivors. I will find the survivors.
Sure.
We are undead investigators.
Yes, exactly. We need to investigate. Let's make sure all the undead are cleared out and see if there's any clues as to who could have caused this undead horde.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we need to know that.
I'm gonna need a deception check from you.
Easy,
Mortimer.
with my +7 deception. And bam.
Far out.
I mean, you already have a +7. Do you need to roll so well? That is a 26 to deception.
Yeah.
This knight looks at you and just says, You're exactly what we needed. Oh, we had. Why didn't you come earlier? Oh, this zombie horde gave us all the problems. Of course, come on in. Come on, we'll try to get in. And the knight heads over to the big door, and you see the knight gives a special knock on the door. Like a series of taps, a pause, another series of taps. It might be akin to shaving a haircut. 2 bits.
Sigmar is gonna say to the knight, we're gonna let these flower folk in as well, just so you know. Like, they're gonna come with us, just so we can keep an eye on them.
Yes, they're persons of interest at this point, and they may have an insight into any flower people we encounter inside the keep.
With that deception check that you had earlier, this knight says, well, I trust you to keep an eye on them flora folky. And he like makes little memes.
Yes, we've got the situation fully under control over here.
If he has any doubt, we did shoot this guy in the neck earlier, so
Right.
Touche. He gives his shaven a haircut knock, and nothing happens.
Is there a way to open this gate from the outside, or a back way in, perhaps?
Oh, I don't. No, from the outside, there's no way to open the gate. But this is the special knock. This is what gets it open. We got some windows around the sides but they're all barred.
If it's a special knock, is it a magic door?
Ah. Well, speaking of magic doors, do we still have that?
Exactly.
yeah, I still have Dory.
That's what I'm thinking. Is it a magic door that we're currently dealing with?
Are you saying this to the knight?
Yeah. Dabarella.
Excuse me, Mr. Knight! Is this a magic door?
A magic door? What are you going on about, magic door? No, they did open it from the inside.
No,
That's the knock to let them know that we're friends.
Right.
Magic doors.
Well,
Get out.
clearly,
Whoever's on the inside is no longer there.
yeah.
That's
So we
magic.
need a way in here.
Oh.
Is there like?
I mean, maybe we could consult our resident magic door on maybe how to open
they were in a
general
dungeon
doors.
for 20 years. What are they going to know?
I How big is the door?
Very large. This door is 15 feet wide.
What's that in not freedom units?
5 meters. It's 5 meters wide by 4 meters tall.
What? Oh, hang on, I've got all this rogue climbing gear. What would be the best place to climb into the place?
Well, if you look up, the top part of this keep is very castle-esque, where it has pits and divots. If you wanted to attempt to climb up the side of the wall.
cat.
Well, that seems like the best approach at this point. I mean, he mentioned windows, but they were barred. Might as well give it a go.
It's a keep. It's
Right,
a keep.
yeah.
We do try to keep the folk out.
It's designed to keep things in. Okay, well, I guess climbing the
I could
wall.
yeet someone over, or I could climb.
Well,
I am very agile because I'm a cat.
yeah, we're all agile. I'm a rogue. I got like a million bits of climbing gear on me.
Grinderbit
But
is
if I
not
fall,
agile.
I get 8 lives.
Well, look, this like housebreaking is my area. Let me try to climb with my climbing gear.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll defer to Mortimer here.
I have a plan after that, but I'll see if this works first.
Sure. So Mortimer, what
you
are
go.
you doing here?
I've got a piton and 50 feet of rope, so I want to try to sort of makeshift a grappling hook to try to get onto the top of the ramparts.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You would know how to craft something like that with your thievery background, which, as a general heads up, the people around you don't necessarily know that you are a gentleman thief. So everyone else just sees you, making this climbing apparatus with a fair amount of ease. Absolutely. So why don't you give me... Let's see. Give me what sort of check to see if you can give me an attack. Give me an attack using your dexterity modifier. And so basically, it's like an accuracy check to see if you can get it clamped on to the side of the wall.
Okay.
So roll me a d20, and then your your dexterity is +4. So give me a d20 +4.
Okay. Rolling d20. +4 is 15.
Okay, yes. With a 15, you are able to toss this to the side of the wall, and it seems to have a solid purchase.
All right. Then I will ascend the wall onto the top of the keep.
You are able to climb the wall with ease.
So that will put me... I can't
On
move my
top of
token
the
on
wall.
top of...
You cannot. It is a different map. Peek behind the screen.
Okay.
So everyone else in the party, what would you like to do here?
I guess we'll follow, right? Like that's our way in, I guess.
You can. Yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if we all just climb this rope, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
You can all,
okay.
Nice work, Mortimer. Let's
you can
go.
all climb.
All right. Hey, I don't have to use my plan. That's cool. I'll pull up the rear. I'll make sure Flower Dude and Night go up there.
Yeah, they're all coming with us.
Yeah, let them know you should probably leave your dog here. They're not usually very good with ropes.
Yeah. And maybe ditch the armor if you're having trouble climbing.
This is my issued armor. I wear this armor at all times.
All right, fine. It's up to you. Up you.
I reckon he's got no undies on.
That's
That's why he doesn't want to take it off.
I mean, they're not the cleanest. I've been fighting for a while.
Hey, we can't judge.
Thanks. I appreciate that. All right, give me one moment as we get this area.
I just want to point out the two bodies to the far right. They look like they're holding hands.
I was
they had-
thinking the exact same thing.
Tragic.
they had their
yeah.
own story in the middle of this war.
Star-crossed love story.
I'm not saying that
Love
that's
can
true.
bloom even on the battlefield.
I'm
as they
saying I
say.
might have placed them that way, and you didn't investigate anybody, so I couldn't tell you those stories.
Oh no!
This is all I'm saying.
We were so caught up with the living, we forgot to check the dead.
What's that? Yeah, that soldier's got like a gunshot that's splattering out of their head there.
There was quite
I mean,
a
one
battle.
of them has something blowing out of their ass, if you look.
It does.
I may have spent a little too much time thinking about where the blood was coming from. Yes, because you start making maps and these kind of things
Blood.
happen. You all climb up and make your way to the top of the keep. And on the roof,
my.
what you see up here is once again the aftermath of. There's no better way to put this, Mortimer. A slaughter. You see the remnants of soldiers, zombies, skeletons. You see siege weapon or anti-siege weaponry. You see weapons. You see a lot of death and destruction. And this night is like, oh no, they go up here too. They took everyone. Oh, no. And the flower folk says, "Good."
Okay, still not accepting the blame for any of this. Is there a way down?
You see like a little there seems to be like a covered staircase off in the distance. You would see it with a red roof. That seems to be a stairwell down. While you are all walking around here, if everyone could give me a perception check, please. All right. Yeah, Grinderbin got a 15. Sigmar got a 14. I'm going to say with a 15, Grinderbin, as you survey. Oh, and I'm just seeing on your map, you don't see the fact that it has a red roof for some reason, because making maps is weird in this system. So you just see it's covered.
I don't see a red
but
roof.
that thing has a red roof. That shadow right there, that's a red roof.
Okay.
Definitely a red roof. There you go. Now you can see the red
There
roof.
it is. Yeah.
Thank you. That red roof right there. There's stairs going down if you head over that way. But Grinderbin, as you are looking around, what I will say here is the thing that you notice is a lot of death and destruction, a lot of things that you would expect to find up here. A lot of things like there's some target practice dummies here. You see some anti-siege weaponry here. But Grinderbin, something catches your eye.
Yeah.
There's a broken bed up here.
Yeah, I did notice that.
There's just a full-on bed up here, and that's really strange that there would be a bed.
I am very curious.
Yes, perhaps.
I'll
ask the knight.
say, quick question here. What's this bed doing up here?
Bed? Well, what? That's the quartermaster's bed. What's it doing up here? That belongs in the quartermaster's room. And just as this knight starts talking, you all notice that the bed starts to move of its own volition.
Uh-oh.
And the footboard springs out and riddles this knight through the chest. And afterwards, this bed starts to slowly rise and take the form of a bit of a monster bed, as if it might have been haunted by one of those ghosts.
Oh my. Haunted ghost bed?
Haunted ghost bed.
I think this sounds like a job for Dory.
Grinderbin, from your bag, you hear, "Oh my." And that's where we're going to leave it for this part of the adventure.
Oh, the cliffhangers.
There's the cliffhanger. Magical haunted
Oh my.
bed.
Well,
I don't know if that means I need to get Dory out or I should very much leave Dory in.
so bed mimics are a thing now. Doesn't
There might be...
In my head, when I saw it, I'm like, I feel like this belongs to Jeremy Goodsex.
Right.
Like, that was my instinct.
I'm like, oh, good sex was here.
And he
Maybe
used
that's
that
whose spirit is haunting this bed.
I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying
Good
is
sex
this.
and Dory.
I'm gonna figure out another way to kill this bed.
Doesn't D&D
I'm saying
have
that there's a bed that's about to attack y'all.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
I'm not saying that, anyone should die preserving this bed, but I am saying we can fetch a high price for a magic
We're not
bed.
wandering
So let's-
furniture sellers. It's bad enough for carrying a door.
You're not a wandering furniture seller. I am. So I want this.
All right, well, that was it for this leg of the Jade Homunculus. What will happen next week? Will our adventurers fight a bed or fall asleep on the job?
Nice.
Thanks.
Like it.
So tune in next time to Adventure is Nigh.